Shalom, shalom. I want to give all glory, praise, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Akak Wadash, and Shani Kabad, and the Walla Rakwab, the Kwangim Nawa, Washalayakim Nawa, and that's double honors to our elders and apostles of Great Millstone, and Shalom, Wabarakim, Labakayam, Shayasharala, and that's peace and blessings to the elect of Israel. And as always, to the confusion of faces, meaning those who look like the other nations, but whose spirits resonate with the truth. And I believe in that faith in Yahweh, the Heavenly Father, and Yahweh Shai, the only begotten Son. So to all you brothers out there, no matter how you look, pushing this word in truth and in sincerity, I want to say peace and blessings to you all. So this video is going to be We Shall Be As David. And through the Spirit, I got that title from this verse right here, Zechariah 12, verse 8. And I wanted to actually bring this, topic, if you will, but I wanted to bring this video out to the Spirit because, of course, brothers have already, have been seeing all the videos that are being made and re-uploaded about spiritual powers. And that's the time that we're coming into right now. There will be certain elect Israelite men that the Lord has chosen to show his power through, all for the purpose of spreading his ministry, spreading his name and his fame and his glory. You see? And of course, during the times of martial law, which the Bible prophesies, during the times of anarchy, meaning no rule, when nobody is regarding the police, when nobody's regarding the Senate, the Congress, basically the government, the military, when all out anarchy and martial law, all these things break loose, you're going to actually see the need for spiritual power in that time. All right. So this is Zechariah 12, verse 8. It says, in that day, the day that through the Spirit I just mentioned, in that day, which the Bible talks about as Jacob's trouble, in that day shall the Lord defend the inhabitants of Jerusalem. Yeah, because Michael the archangel, it talks about that in Daniel, the 12th chapter, verse 1. It's going to actually stand up for the people, for the elect out of the nation of Israel. Okay, so in that day shall the Lord defend the inhabitants of Jerusalem, and he that is feeble among them at that day shall be as David. Now this is the other way that the Lord is going to defend the inhabitants of Jerusalem, meaning the elect out of the nation of Israel. And what is that? There's going to be a standard that's going to be lifted, and that standard represents the spiritual powers that certain men are going to have in that day. It says, and he that is feeble, the word feeble just means, literally it means to be weak or lacking strength. So even the smallest, the most weak, shall be as David, it says. And he that is feeble among them at that day shall be as David. And the house of David shall be as the Most High, as the angel of Yahweh before them. You see? And this is a part of our hope. You see, we're doing all this work right now. We're making these videos, going out on the highways and byways, and we're fasting, we're praying to the Lord, and we're staying occupied in prophecy because we're hoping for deliverance. We're hoping for salvation. We're hoping and praying to be protected. And we put our faith in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, that because we're doing his will right now, he's going to look out for us and protect us. And ultimately, for certain elect men, lift up a standard in that day when all hell breaks loose. Okay, so what I want to do right now is, before I jump into that, I also wanted to get Isaiah, the first chapter. So this is Isaiah chapter 1, and I want to read verse 26, and it says, and I will restore thy judges as at the first. Who is that? That's referring to the tabernacle of David. It goes on to say, and thy counselors as at the beginning. But what I also want to bring out to the Spirit is that this is also talking about what? In the book of Genesis. Now, how do you say Genesis in Hebrew? It's Bara'ashiath, which means in the beginning. Okay? Now, watch this. It says, and I will restore thy judges as at the first, and thy counselors. A counselor does what? A counselor gives advice, gives instruction, gives sometimes even correction. It says, and thy counselors as at the beginning. So 2 words, judges and beginning. Okay? Keep that in mind. So now let's go to the beginning. The book of Genesis chapter 1, it says, in the beginning, or Bara'ashath, it says God, but we know that to be Alahayim, created the heaven and the earth. You see, because if you don't know by now, whom the world just calls God, which God is just a title, God, or rather the Heavenly Father Yahweh, didn't create the heavens and the earth. What he did was he gave the power to the Alahayim. And we're going to read about really quickly who the Alahayim are, or really just another title for them. It says, in the beginning, so Bara'ashath, okay, we can see that up here. I'm going to highlight it. Bara'ashath, okay, and now we'll jump right back down. It says Alahayim, boom, right there. Let's click on it. Alahayim. So Bara'ashath, Alahayim. So in the beginning, the Alahayim created the heaven and the earth. So what is the Alahayim? It says what? Plural, so more than one person, rulers or judges, divine ones, still plural, angels, gods. You see, this is referring to certain angels. The angels, which are also referred to as what? Rulers or judges, or even gods, divine ones. Okay? And of course, we understand that those fallen angels, when you read a few scriptures down, are actually talking about the chosen line of God, the sons of God, before they were called Israelites. You dive deeper into it, it's talking about the tabernacle of David that the Lord is actually restoring. So he's restoring his judges as in the beginning. You see? Let's go to that really quickly. Once again, let's go back to it rather. Isaiah 1 verse 26. And I will restore thy judges as at the first, and thy counselors as at the beginning. It's talking about the Alahayim that fell from their ways, and it's also referring to the tabernacle of David. Afterward, thou shalt be called the city of righteousness, thy faithful city. And the Lord is going to start, or begin rather, to restore those judges and those counselors as at the beginning on this side. Once again, Zechariah 12 verse 8, the feeble, even the most feeble, the most weak, shall be as David. Okay? And as a matter of fact, it starts even before that right now. Just coming back to our heritage, understanding who we are as a people, understanding our ways, knowing that we sinned and we must bear the indignation of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai because we have sinned. It starts with coming back to our nationality and praising Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai and acknowledging him as our power. That's really where the restoring process begins. But it's also going to be what? Amped up to the next level when the Lord bestows upon his men the power, his spiritual powers. Okay? And once again, we shall be as David. That's the video topic. So all I want to do really quickly is just grab an example of David's might. Okay? So this is the book of Zechariah, look at me. 2 Samuel, I got a different verse in my head. 2 Samuel 8 verse 13, right to the point. It says, and David gat him a name when he returned from smiting of the Syrians in the valley of Salt, being 18,000 men. Now, of course, this is actually referring to what? David and his men and the tabernacle of David. But you can actually see how strong that body was. Okay? But we, of course, do know that David was a very, very, very strong and mighty man. And he did slew tens of thousands of men even by himself. Okay? Another example of that is when we jump over 2 chapters. 2 Samuel chapter 10 verses, we'll read the last 3, 17 through 19. Let me highlight that so it's a lot easier for you all to see. Alright, 2 Samuel 10, starting in verse 17, it says, and when it was told David, he gathered all Israel together and passed over Jordan and came to Hilam. And the Syrians set themselves in array against David and fought with him. And the Syrians fled before Israel. And David slew the men of 700 chariots. And David slew the men of 700 chariots of the Syrians, and 40,000 horsemen, and smote Shobach, the captain of the host, who died there. You see how strong David was? How strong David and his men were? You see? The Lord said that we shall be as David. Even the most feeble shall be as David in that day, it said. And in that day is talking about the time of Jacob's trouble. All out anarchy, martial law breaking loose. There's going to be a reason for the Lord sending upon, or rather sending his power upon elect men in that day, in those times to come. That's why it says, and a woman shall be a woman, Salakia. It says, a man shall be a hiding place from the wind. Who was that referring for, rather? A woman. The woman is going to be hiding behind elect men, because the scriptures say, in that day, then it shall be known who are my chosen. Okay? And that's why elect women, elect ladies out there, if you will, are going to be hiding behind an elect man who has power, because he's going to be as an hiding place from the wind. And it's all because of the power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. And we'll read verse 19 to finish it out. It says, and when all the kings that were servants to Hadarezer saw that they were smitten before Israel, they made peace with Israel and served them. So the Syrians feared to help the children of Ammon anymore, you see? And what's going to happen once the Lord bestows his power upon us? Well, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, we're going to subdue our enemies, and every single nation is going into captivity under the Israelites. And that's according to biblical prophecy, and that's everywhere, in the book of Revelation, in the book of Isaiah, in the book of Daniel. You see, so that's not coming out of our own mouths. That's according to the Bible. Okay, so now all I want to do is read through this really quickly. Oh, no. I'm sorry. Psalm chapter 18, verse 32. And I'm going to read straight through, actually. I'm going to read Psalm chapter 18, verse 32 through 42, so 10 verses, and I'm going to read it straight through, not really commenting much, because what I want to show is that this spiritual power is from Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, and this is David speaking right here, and David is acknowledging that the whole reason, the only way that he was able to subdue his enemies is the power that he got from Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Kudash. And it's no different in these times soon to come. When certain elect men receive power, we're going to be giving all the glory, praise, and honor, just like now, to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. It's going to be of him. Okay? So Psalm 18, verse 32, it says, it is Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai that girdeth me with strength, and maketh my way perfect. He maketh my feet like hinds' feet, and setteth me upon my high places. So he was swift. He teacheth my hands to war, so that a bow of steel is broken by mine arms. This is David, you see. We shall be as David. We're going to be strong. We're going to have swift moving feet, right? Thou hast also given me the shield of thy salvation, and thy right hand hath holden me up, and thy gentleness hath made me great. Thou hast enlarged my steps under me, that my feet did not slip. So he was fast, he was swift once again, right? I have pursued mine enemies and overtaken them, neither did I turn again till they were consumed. I have wounded them that they were not able to rise, they are fallen under my feet. For thou hast girded me with strength unto the battle. Who? Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai girded David with strength unto the battle. Thou hast subdued under me those that rose up against me. You see, even though David was the one slewing, and his people, his men, the tabernacle of David, or the house of David, if you will, were the ones slewing all the men, the Syrians, the Moabites, the Edomites, right? He said what? Thou, meaning you, O Lord, has subdued under me those that rose up against me. He gave the acknowledgement to the Lord. Thou hast, verse 40, thou hast also given me the necks of mine enemies, that I might destroy them that hate me. They cried, but there was none to save them, even unto the Lord. So even they cried unto the name of Yahweh, but he answered them not. Verse 42, then did I beat them small as the dust before the wind. I did cast them out as the dirt in the streets. And this is the power that the elect out there can, I would just say that we're hoping for. This is what we can look forward to through the Spirit. Now, of course, not every man out there is going to receive spiritual powers. That's why it says Michael the archangel is going to stand up for thy people. So at the end of the day, the point is this. As long as we continue to remain strong in this faith and continue to hope and have faith in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, ultimately we're going to be protected by having spiritual powers, or Yahushai and the archangels protecting the men. You know? And that's what it's coming down to, having faith. Ultimately, we're going to be protected in these times, okay? But I just wanted to bring this out because this is a part of the standard right here. And this is a part of what I hope lies in, okay? So I want to give all glory, praise, and honor to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Akakwadash. I pray that this was edifying and uplifting for the elect out there. Double honors to our elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule well in these times. And peace and blessings to the elect. All right, shalom.